Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. Now, for those of you who are like, I don't like these type of videos, I just want the hard-hitting, informative content, I did two of them already today. I did two of them yesterday. I did two of them the day before that, going back for months actually. There's almost 3,000 of them. There's plenty of them there, and you saw the title of this video when you clicked on it. So, let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing. Work on skilling up my crafting a little bit. Let's talk about this. Alright, two pieces of news really going on with this. Number one, Jason Genova's channel has been shut down. Now, I did get a little bit of insider info on it. Of people who know him and have spoken to him directly and everything about it. People who have spoken to other people he's involved with. So I've got a little bit of information as far as it goes. And yeah, he's been shut down. Looks like only for 2 weeks for now. I think he's got 2 strikes. Third strike could really get him into trouble. So the guy's going to have to chill with certain things that he does because he can't upload for like 2 weeks apparently. And he was hit apparently for bullying. He was hit for bullying. So here's the kind of the question that people are asking, because there's a rumor going around. People are saying they think Mark Lobliner had something to do with it. You know what? That's a rumor. It's unsubstantiated. I don't know if Mark had anything to do with it or not. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Probably a big conclusion to jump to at this point. However, he did just make a video kind of calling him out, doing the Order 66 thing, which I covered. I covered all of that and just the sheer stupidity of it. And just this whole fiasco that Mark has going now around everything involving this charity event he's doing. Now, what people are saying, and again, I've only heard it said. Some people said they're going to go look for the screenshots of it. Whether he deleted it or not, they don't know. Whether it was actually said or not, speculation. They're claiming that in one of his video comments, I think actually the Order 66 video, that there was a discussion to where he said he was going to try to put a group of people together to get enough strikes against Jason and enough flagging to hopefully get him removed from YouTube, because it was something like he's autistic, he doesn't need to be on YouTube, he just really shouldn't be out there. Now, that's what people are saying. I haven't personally seen that proof yet. Okay, so I'm going to withhold judgment on if that's what happened until I see real evidence. And you know what? When you get evidence of a screenshot, you need to mouse over and make sure it's their real channel. There are tons of fake channels out there. People can catfish you and make it sound like you're the one who said something in all sorts of ways when it's not actually you. People make fake accounts, okay? Happens all the time. I have gotten at least 12 copies of my channel closed already personally that had videos uploaded and everything. They're everywhere. It's normal. People do that. It's weird, but people do it. So a screenshot may not even be proof that he actually said it. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt because I think Mark's a douchebag, but I really hope he wouldn't actually go so far as to actually say that because a person has a learning disability or a handicap that they don't have a right to be on YouTube. I kind of have a problem with that. If that was actually said, and I would really hope that Mark didn't actually say that. In fact, even though Mark and I might have our differences, I'm going to go so far as to say I want to give him the benefit of the doubt in saying that Mark didn't actually say that. All right. Because people who do things like that, I don't know, it just seems like God or the universe sometimes seems to have a way of giving them sometimes a child or something later with a mental handicap. I've seen a couple cases of stuff like that happen. People who were mean about stuff like that, just the way things turned out. But all things considered, yeah, I don't even think I could see Mark saying something like that. I really don't. I would hope that's even beneath Mark to have that sort of attitude, because you know what? The kid's got it right. Yes, I say kid. I don't care. He's 30 years old. He's not. I mean, he's a kid, guys. He's a kid. He has a right to be on YouTube. And here's the way I would look at it. A lot of people are like, well, he needs to be punished. He needs to be disciplined. He shouldn't be up here. And here's a better way to look at it. I want you guys to step back and have just a little drop of compassion. Some of you people out there, I know for some people that's hard, but just have a little drop of compassion. Stop and think about what day-to-day life is probably like for Genova. I want you to really think about that. All right, this is a guy I've heard that he has a little minimum wage job that he does. So, it's not like he's sitting here collecting, money or welfare, so he's trying to support himself. He's got a job because obviously his YouTube's not big enough to live off of. He does the best that he can. All right, this is a guy who's probably never had a girlfriend, never kissed a girl, probably doesn't have many friends. Okay, probably doesn't have many friends. You know, he's going to have social issues of dealing with other people just because of his learning disability. He's going to have a lot of awkward situations. Life is probably fairly difficult for him. All right, he's probably going to feel different. He's probably going to feel like an outcast in a lot of ways. All right, he doesn't have a whole lot of things probably in his life. He's got his little YouTube channel, and you know what? His YouTube channel clearly means a lot to him. I go so far as to say that it might be the one thing that he has that gives him a sense of joy, maybe makes him feel loved, maybe makes him feel like people actually like him. Right? Because this is someone who's grown up with a set of issues that has probably made it difficult for him to make friends. I mean, really think about that, guys. Think about that. Of what life is probably like for him. And his channel is the one little thing that he has. He's got a fan base. He's got a following online. It's not a big following. You know, I think he's had, what, like a total of about 6 million views total. It's not a big channel. It's not a big following, but it's his. And it probably brings him joy. It probably brings him happiness. It's the one little thing that he has. And there are people out there who really relish the idea of, I want to take that away from him. All right? There are people who actually think that way, that, you know what? I just don't think he should have that. He shouldn't have that one little bit of joy he's got. I'm going to take it from him and shut his channel down. Those are kind of sick bastards. When you really think about it, those are sick bastards, you know, because at the end of the day, no, he is not, doesn't have an adult mentality. He doesn't always think through, and he doesn't understand the consequences of his actions. You can't probably teach him the consequences of his actions. All right? He is, you're thinking as mature adults oftentimes. He's not going to always understand the consequences of his actions. But he's got this, and it's his. And he enjoys it, and it gives him joy, and makes him feel loved, and makes him feel accepted, makes him feel like he has fans. Okay? And for people to just think, you know what, I just want to kind of squash that and take that away from him, because he doesn't have anything else. He really doesn't. And I don't know, just the attitude that people would think that that's just acceptable. That in an enlightened society, I just can't view that we would see that as acceptable. Because he is a human being. All right, he is a human being. He has feelings. He has emotions. He feels pain. He feels sorrow. Feels happiness, joy. And it seems like, yeah, there are people who just really enjoy inflicting pain on someone like that because they see him as an easy target. And those sort of people, those are maybe the sort of people we need to be thinking about getting rid of in this world. That's the kind of people you really don't want. People who take joy in something like that, and hurting someone like him and just taking away what he has. All right, we don't need those types. We don't need those type of people in this world. But the thing is with it, what people need to remember, and Mark and everyone else, and he's like, well, this guy has made my life. He really hasn't. All right. The fact that any of us are on YouTube, there's any number of reasons people could latch onto you on YouTube. You know what? I know that a lot of the campaign that's been levied against me is done by people like in the industry, Mark's industry, purely because I speak out so much against their snake oil salesmen. They don't like that. It's not good for business. But I'm not taking away what they have. I'm not really taking away what they have. They're all still making millions of dollars. I don't have the ability to take that away from them. But they act like it, and they see me as a threat. Come after people like me, but the same thing. He comes after people like Genova. You know what? People are going to single you out for whatever reason. It's not Genova's fault. And at the end of the day, Order 66, people are like, well, what is all that? All that is Jason going, I'm calling Order 66 on Jason Bloho. I'm calling Order 66 on Mark Lobliner. That's all it is. And then his fans come to your page and they type Order 66 or Order 66 on your candy ass. That's all they do. And you just ban them. You hit one button, ban, 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 ban. 20 of them, they're all gone. All 20 people who did it that day, they're gone. If it's 50, click the button 50 times. They're banned. They're banned off your page. They're done. They're done. You know what? All of us have to deal with the fact that technically being online, being on YouTube makes us public figures for better or for worse. Anyone who has a significant following at a certain point, you are a public figure. You're going to have people who aren't going to like you. They're going to use stuff like Jason Genova as an excuse. Okay? They still would have singled people out. They would have found someone to single out. Anyone who really wants to stalk someone, find their address, mail them stuff, harass them. Any of these things that Mark's talking about, it's not Genova's fault. It really isn't. It's the fact that the internet has so much anonymity. It's the fact that psychopaths have access to the internet. They're 3% of the population. They have access to the internet. They're going to find people to single out. They get off to it. They enjoy it. And they enjoy being able to do it anonymously. But to stand back and say that that's any one person's fault, not really. I mean, the psychopaths will always say that it's your fault. Mark, they'll stand there and they'll say, Mark, it's your fault because of whatever, because you put your children on the camera and hid behind them. We're going to do this. They'll blame it on you. Or they'll just blame it on the fact that they don't like, maybe you sang a song that they don't like, and that's reason enough. Maybe they don't like the way your lips move. All right, they'll find a way to blame it on you, but at the end of the day, it's not necessarily your fault other than being a public figure. It's not Genova's fault other than he just says things and just people use that as an excuse to do what they want to do. In fact, a lot of these people goad him into picking certain people. They tell him who to order 66, and if 10 or 15 of them tell him to order 66 someone, he does it because he wants to make his fans happy. But they're the ones goading him on to do it most of the time. He's not even picking his own targets. Those people who want to do the order 66 is the psychopaths who want to see it so that they have it as an excuse to justify their psychopathology. As that's the thing with psychopaths on the internet. They feel that if other people have started something, or if it's a movement or a cause, or anyone has given them permission, that it justifies their behavior. When it's never justified to harass people just because of their presence on the internet. It really isn't. But that's the way that they think. If someone else has called it or said it, or there's a movement or someone else doing it or several people doing it, if there's a cause, then it's justified. And they're justified to continue to be weirdos and psychopaths and harass and stalk those people and whatever. But it's not Genova's fault. Hell, it's not even your own fault. It really, even though I might say Mark's a shady person, con man, everything else, it's still probably not really his fault that psychopaths are going to single him out. Lots of us deal with it. This is part and parcel to being a public figure on the internet under the current laws and rules that it exists under. All right, that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, all of us have to deal with it, or at least a lot of us do, some more than others. But to stand back and act like Genova is the real cause and you wouldn't have any of these issues if he hadn't called an order 66, you really think that? Because those same people already follow the fitness world. They're already sick fucks. They're already psychopaths just looking for someone to target. Realistically, the fact that they exist and they're in this community, that's what's to blame. Put the blame on the psychos themselves. Don't try to find a figurehead for their movement and think that if you cut the head off the snake, that it's going to end the problem, because it won't. The problem of psychopaths on the internet being stalkers and gang stalkers and morons and everything else is not going to go away until we change the way that we handle the internet itself. Until something changes on a fundamental level with that, the way the internet operates, that's just the way it's going to be. And we could argue all day long as to what's the best way to change that. Where does liberty and freedom start and end? Because ultimately that's the only reason right now that this does go on the way that it does, is that because people's privacy is fairly heavy protected when you're not the public figure. When you're the one doing the harassing, they're protected to some extent. It takes government a while to get warrants and things. And in the meantime, it frees them up to continue to do what they want to do. It just is what it is. But at the end of the day, a lot of people don't like Genova for the Order 66s and everything else. And they need to understand, guys, he's got his own set of issues. It really doesn't mean anything. It's just an Order 66. It's just him saying Order 66. And the Order 66 is just people typing it. It doesn't mean anything. And you know what? The psychopaths are going to be psychopaths with or without him there. But the idea that someone thinks that it would be fun or funny to take something away from someone like Genova that clearly gives him a little bit of joy and happiness in his life, and they actually enjoy that fact or relish in that fact, they might want to step back and rethink their own set of ethics themselves. They might want to reassess their own ideas of what's right and wrong. Just throwing that out there. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.